So, yeah, OVNI going for the battering ram approach. Kurfürst, Kremlin, only one destroyer and a variety of cruisers, two Moskvas to provide the radar cover. BBMM going for a little more traditional, again, two Stalingrads and two Des Moines. They are heavy on the radar, Yamato plus Kremlin as the heavy muscle. I wonder if we're going to see either team try a battering ram approach to get themselves into the central points. So, positions are up. Let's see what the teams do for their deployments. Razor moving off. Looks like he's actually eyeing up point B. Oh wow, that, as I've noted, point B in a destroyer early on is a bold move to try. Turn out for Murasuki in the Zao. Duflak moving off to point A in the Des Moines. Daemon FTW in the Venezia likewise. Smolensk of Kukumorplas, haha, pushing south. Looks like he's going to try to provide some fire support, or just denial fire into point B, with Black Xbeard moving in to provide the radar and the spotting. And yes, Breiser is barreling straight into point B. Like I said, bold move this early in the match. Over on the other side, Roadstar, Gestar and Samik moving out towards point A and trying to get the early cap there, with what looks like, Heel 99 in the Kremlin providing their muscle. Senpai Q is moving for point C. Might be interesting if he collides with Clippo 6's Moskva, or at least the radar for it. He's got GD for his own radar support, of course, with the Venezia Fecklers and the Stalingrad of Corporal Hamster a bit further back for fire support, and of course Ascarialos in the Yamato. Well, let's face it, it's a Yamato. Range is just a number, isn't it? Okay, Breiser, as usual, thought about point. Oh, wait. I thought he was breakaway, but he's not. He is actually doing the 3-point reverse. So we are actually going to see Breiser make an early grab for point B. He's not completely foolish. He is doing it prepped for a quick exit, but actually, you know what? This might work, because look at where the red team have got to. BBMM have split enough that they may have some difficulty putting any kind of hard fire into point B. Mostly because they're all shooting at Kukumorplas in the Smolensk. And, well, we all know how much armor Smolensk hasn't got. So the fact that he's only down a few hundred health thus far is quite an achievement. And my compliments to his helmsman. Fire coming down onto Sanych, who unmasked in order to get some shots there. And yep, Breiser is into point B. Cap in play. That was a radar sweep from Blackbeard. Breiser, however, just quietly sitting there, not a care in the world. And he is going to grab point B, but not before Roadstar and Gestar manage to grab themselves point A and put BBMM slightly ahead. Oh, torpedoes in the water. Martin standing on the rudder, but he's going to take one on the bow, one on the belt. Probably a second on the belt as well. There we go. So he is abruptly down 60,000 health. I don't think he was expecting to take what might very well have been 20k torpedoes. And in fact, yes, they were. Those fish are still running. And if they were 12ks, they would have run out their motors by now. So grats to the Shimakaze of Roadstar for getting some early blood, thanks to a slightly unconventional armament choice. Breiser finishes the cap of B and makes his exit. Point C, however, is turning into a bit of a staring contest. And when I say staring, I mean both sides have got a radar cruiser locking it down, and both sides are trying to get rid of the other side's radar cruiser, in this case, so Senpai Q can get in from the south, and, well, potentially Marson Bully from the north. Torpedoes running. Senpai Q, very nearly 8 sea mines from the Venezia there. Fekler's taking a little bit of a risk with his torpedo launch to get that angle, but Senpai Q has managed to get into the control point. Clip presumably does not have his radar ready to go, and therefore nobody is in a position to provide any spotting there. That will put BBMM 2 control points to 1 up, and they've done the lion's share of the early damage as well. They are about 100k up, but OVNI are doing their best to pull that back. Field 99 pushing into and hopefully through A, but he's getting hammered hard as a consequence, and he may be thinking better of. He's cut his engines and is just digging down. Gestar there doing what he can to push up in support, but when you've got a Des Moines throwing Halsey at him from Duflak, really, that cruiser needs to die really, really quickly if Field and Gestar want to get out of that particular mess. Of course, you can argue that Field is doing a battleship's job absolutely to spec. He's sitting there, he's taking the attention of slightly more than half the enemy team and clearing the way for his teammates to take advantage if they can work out how to. Sanych is pushing up ever so slightly. He has to be a little careful because if he pushes right the way up, he's going to end up flanked by Blackbeard and the Kremlin and the Moskva to the right, and that will end very badly for him. Torpedoes coming in towards Clip 06 takes 1 on the nose, and Senpai Q has another salvo on the way as well. However, again, stalemate and high explosive staring contest once again. So, is anybody going to be able to push this particular deadlock? More to the point, can OVNI figure out how to push that particular deadlock, because they're the ones that are down a control point? So, as things stand, BBMM 2 points up and rapidly accelerating, 6 minutes from the win. However, Field manages to break away, but not without taking colossal damage. He is down 90,000 health, give or take. Roadstar pushes back, having dropped smoke to cover Gestar, and the Summers of Bryza is just wriggling in to point A, locking it down, taking it to 1 point to 1. So, BBMM paying dearly for that early grab. Field is in real trouble. Can he control that fire? 387, 3548. He's got repair party in play, but he doesn't seem to have a Damcon ready to go, or he just doesn't want to use it for one fire. But I don't think he's got the repair margin to tank. So I don't know that he can really afford to swallow that fire at the moment. The Venezia is out on the flank spotting. Oh, Roadstar, boom! Roadstar got caught. I suspect Duflak's radar had something to do with that. And Bryza is now uncontested in point A. And even if Gestar does fire radar to spot him, nothing he can do about it. There's a giant lump of rock covering the Summers, while the Kremlin of Field is getting battered into a pulp. Gestar's realized the situation. He's backing up, but at this point we are watching point A just folding down to OVNI. OVNI take down the Kremlin. There goes the anchor for point A, and BBMM were really relying on that. There's still a good 90,000 health up, however, but with a dead ship, it's not looking good for them. So, can Gestar and Sanych hold this line? Remains to be seen. Right, GD and Senpai Q doing what they can with the Kremlin. In fact, Marso's Kremlin is also taking a thorough pan. He's just eaten another Shimakaze torpedo. So has Clip 06. Let's see. Clip's taking the worst of it at the moment. He's got the Stalingrad and the Venezia both looking for blood, and he is not on fire at the moment, but you can bet the Stalingrad wants to change that. Interestingly, he's pushing forward, just trying to play as much terrain as he can. But let's face it, when you are face-first with a Venezia that doesn't really care, it's a matter of time. Martin loses the Kremlin. Now, both sides have lost their anchoring battleships. And in fact, the Kurfürst of Manny Martin is way out of position. Not quite sure what he's doing over here. I think he got run off quite badly by torpedoes and then had to do a long leg to get out of it. Clip 06 goes down, not unexpected. The Stalingrad and the Venezia did the job. So point A is more or less collapsed. and in possession of OVNI, but Point C is completely folded, and the flank is now clear for BBMM to start pushing up. If they can get rid of Yorisuke Zhao, who is a long way off and in a good position to play the harassing role, but at this point, well, the BBMM to a certain extent could just mask up and try to ignore him and just close in on the Moskva of Black X Beard, move straight west and just ride the fire. Samic is being forced to back up, and Gestar, well, he's doing a valiant and first-rate job of holding that corner and stopping Duliak from just blitzing forward, but it's not stopping Samic from taking repeated high explosive salvos and getting crossfired down by both Blackbeard and Duflak. Interestingly, QQ Warplers is also passive, just trying to position round to the southeast, get himself into a better firing position. Gestar deciding that that corner is not viable, and rather than dying on a hill for no good reason, is going to chase down Breiser. That does leave him face first with a Kurfürst, but, well, he might get away with it. Of course, getting away with it does rather mean a long-run broadside to a Kurfürst in order to make that flank secure. Oh dear. Oof, okay, German engineering starts going to work. Main battery fire from the Kurfürst strips about 15,000 health. In the course of that turn, he overpushes it, comes broadside to the Des Moines of Duflak, who did come round that corner, and eats another big chunk. Duflak gets multiple shells in, drops Gestar before he can finish the turn, and is now clear to advance. And right now, BBMM, honestly, I would say BBMM are probably in the slightly better situation here, but they need to move fast because OVNI are 2 control points up. They are 3.5 minutes away from the win. They have got a significant health disadvantage to pull back, but if BBMM's heavy units to the north here just shove forward hard at this point, they can make it work. They can buy enough time for Senpai Q to dive into point B, lock the control point, and buy them another 3 minutes. There we go. Point B is capping, and we are now at 6 minutes 30 from score out. Duflak, oof. Duflak pushed his turn a bit too far to try to get into the northern approach to point B, went broadside to GD and is eating multiple salvos of AP. In consequence, he's down to 8,000 health, but he has managed to make the island, so he is reasonably secure there for the moment. Of course, he is still spotted, and we might see more trouble coming his way as a consequence. Breiser gets spotted by radar from Corporal Hamster, and the Zhao of Yorisuke doing what he can with the delaying action, but his options are limited. If he goes and opens fire like that, pinned up against the map border, he is going to get rapidly hammered down by the Yamato and Corporal Hamster. Point B folds over to Senpai Q. Torpedoes running out towards the Kurfürst rather than the Des Moines. Of course, the Des Moines will be paranoid about torpedoes at this point, and it is now an advantage BBMM, 3 minutes 30 away since they've secured point B. Torpedoes in the water. Corporal Hamster eats 1 from the Summers. There's 3 more closing in. He's got the rudder across. I think he's only going to take 1 more. Boom, and just scrapes past the 3rd. Of course, he went starboard rudder in the process. He's gone broadside to Duflak, but Duflak on the receiving end of Yamato and Stalingrad fire had to push too far forwards to get that solution and does not get away from the Yamato's 46-centimeter rifles in consequence, which just leaves 4 of the OVNI ships, all of them in varying degrees of disrepair, and 2 minutes 20 seconds left on the map. GD pushing against Smolensk. Of course, well, it's a Smolensk against a Des Moines. And let's be honest here, it's going to come down to whoever manages to hammer the other in submission. If QQ Moore decides to go for a torpedo strike, he might pull it off. But wow, GD is turning out. He's giving broadside. I don't think he realizes just how much punch the 130mm guns of the Smolensk have at close range. He does now. In the meantime, the Kurfürst has gone. The Yamato claimed another kill there, but Yorisuke managed to bag a kill as well, and Breiser and Senpai Q are slugging it out. Breiser, of course, has got rapid-fire 5-inch, but doesn't have the arts. Not that it's slowing him down very much. 531 health. One more salvo. There it goes. QQ Morples manages to get the kill shot cross-firing the Shimikaze. Breiser scrapes away on 4,000 health and goes silent, but Asguarios gets a final salvo away with the main battery, goes long and short. So Breiser is now in position to muzzle his guns, silence up, load torpedoes, and start looking for that attack. We're at 2 minutes 40. OVNI might be pulling a comeback here. They are down to 28,000 health. However, most of Asuka's health advantage is currently in the Yamato, which is getting repeatedly crossfired. Okay, QQ Morpler's holding the range and staying stern on to the Yamato, trying to keep the island between targets as well. So he might be able to pull it. 56,000 and ticking. Yorisuke has the torpedoes in the water, and although I don't think they're going to do very much, he's dropped his second salvo as well. Now, here's the question. Yep, there's the cross drop from Breiser as well. So Asgaritos is going to manage the first evasion. I don't know if he's not going to clear those Type 93s. He evades the Summers Torps, but the turn he had to do to pull that has left him on a death course with the Zhao. He takes out the Zhao and doesn't quite break away. We have more torps incoming from the Summers from behind, catching him in another cross drop. If he holds starboard rudder, however, he might just read this. Takes one aft, one center, 364, and he flooded. Breiser doing just enough there to knock out the Yamato, which leaves Feklas in the Venezia facing off against QQ Morplers in the Smolensk and Breiser in the Summers. Wow, what a game, ladies and gentlemen, what a game. It has come down to the last few scraps. OVNI squeaking ahead on score, 2 minutes on the clock. I suspect Breiser is not in a hurry to pull the trigger at all at this point. He's going to just circle around, finish flipping point B. Remember, Feklas has no hydro and no radar in a Venezia, and he's slower than Breiser as well. Breiser can just run away and leave him gasping. 45 seconds, 34 points advantage. Feklas has realized the danger is turning into point B to block. Breiser dumps torpedoes from the Summers, empties all 3 launchers because he's not going to get another shot from them. So, hey, no point in wasting what you're not going to have a further use for. Feklas, of course, is jinking. He's got fire coming in from the Smolensk as well. Are we going to see some torpedo beats here? He's found something of a gap, but I think he's found it too late. Takes one on the skirts, one on the nose, and scrapes the, but with only 600 health left. Ooh, the Smolensk has opened fire. Shells coming in from the 5-inch of Breiser as well, and Breiser carries the win. Oh, wow. So, OVNI scraping in to a last-minute save there. Ooh, that was a close one. I honestly did not think OVNI were going to pull that off halfway through. I thought BBMM were just going to roll them over, but they kept their cool. Buflak in particular running up 4 kills. Breiser, I don't know how many caps he pulled, but Breiser, I think, gets my man of the match, but a very solid team effort there.